Do you need a chimney to have a fireplace? That is in the question of the day, and stay tuned for the answer because it just might surprise you. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you on Monday through Friday, each and every week around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. And to find out how you can get your question answered on air, all you got to do is hang out with me till the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you're interested in potentially being a sponsor of the week and want some additional information, I will get that for you in just a few. So, as you guys know, it is Monday. It is my favorite day of the week. It is a brand new month in 2021. Had to think about that for a minute. And, hopefully you guys had a lot of success, a lot of health, and a lot of great experiences in the first month of the new year. I would love to hear from you guys and just kind of have you guys share what wins you guys had, successes, or maybe what you learned. And of course, hopefully everybody listening to this has been healthy, continues to stay healthy, as well as their friends and family. So, as is tradition with the hot list, we are going to start it right off with the featured property of the day. The address that we're going to talk about today is 917 E South Avenue, right here in Emporia. This particular one is a two-story house. It's got 5 beds, 2 bathrooms. It's got 1,943 square feet of finished space, currently listed for $122,900, courtesy of Eck Real Estate. So this two-story house is right on the edge of what is going to be the city limits here in Emporia. So you have a little bit of that country feel with the convenience of being located in town. It does have a basement. On the main floor, you have the primary bedroom, you've got a bathroom, and you've got laundry on the main floor as well. The other bedrooms and the other bathroom are located upstairs. Got a nice big kitchen with a good size pantry in there. On the outside, you do have vinyl siding that's been recently updated. Part of the property is fenced off. Got a storage shed in the back of the property as well. Got a covered porch on the front, so you like sitting out in the morning drinking your coffee, maybe in the evening drinking beer, wine, whatever, maybe some moonshine. Who knows? Whatever have you, you've got that covered porch, so any type of inclement weather, you can still be out there as well. So while the property is available, I have included a link in the description. All you have to do is check it out for yourself. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Or if you are a pre-approved buyer and not currently working with another agent, I would be happy to schedule a showing for you and be the real estate resource for you going forward. Like I said, while it is available, just click on that link in the description because, as many of y'all know, once it goes under contract, that link will no longer work because the property will no longer be available. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Quality Air right here in Emporia. They have heating and air service. They do heating, ventilating, air conditioning, service, and sales. They are located at 517 Sunny Slope right here in Emporia. Best way to contact them is you can either call 620-340-0445 and just ask to speak with Tony or Jerry, and they will get you set up and rolling, questions answered. And they have been around the Emporia area and servicing the Emporia area since 2005. been around for a while. They definitely know what they're doing and can get you taken care of and back up and running. If you're interested in being a sponsor of the week and supporting the hot list, maybe you are a business owner, entrepreneur, sales manager, maybe even a salesperson yourself, and curious what you could do to become a sponsor of the week, all you have to do is shoot me a message, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or you can drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music. I'd be happy to have a further conversation with you, see what it takes, and let you know what it takes to become a sponsor of the week, see if you're interested, and we can move forward from there. That is going to bring us to my favorite portion of the day, and that is the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. Each and every day I answer a question. It is submitted by somebody who has watched or listened to the podcast. So those that have submitted questions before, thank you guys so much. Please continue to keep those coming. I will not only answer that question for you, I will also use that for material such as this episode to continue to answer and help people out as best they can. A lot of people aren't sure where to start when it comes to real estate questions. I would be happy to be the real estate resource that you use, or at least start with, and can potentially move up from or go on from there, just depending on where you live. So, question of the day: do I need a chimney to have a fireplace? Well, before I really did some research and dug into this question, the simple answer and my answer would have been absolutely you do, because it is that time of year, at least here in Kansas. The weather's cold and that fireplace can feel oh so good. While tons of homeowners will agree with this, I have no doubt not all have the option for a fire because they have no fireplace. And let's be honest, adding a fireplace in a home where there's not an existing one is a huge undertaking, may be more trouble than it's worth. So if you want to add a little snap, crackle, and pop to your life, there are some other options available, and we're going to get into those in just a few minutes. For the longest time, there was only one way to have a fire indoors, and yep, that's right. You had to have a brick chimney to help contain the flames as well as keep everybody safe. However, today there are a few other options for adding fireplaces without having to add and construct a new chimney or repair an old chimney that's no longer in use. Don't get me wrong, for those that are gonna start hating and throwing shade at me because of what I'm talking about, wood burning fireplaces have a rustic and nostalgic appeal to them. I 100% agree with you. However, today's fireplaces have ventless options. They're easier to install. They also require much less maintenance than what a traditional fireplace and chimney do. Not to mention, they are extremely fuel efficient if you choose to use it as a heat source for your house. So if you have an existing chimney and it's in good shape, there's lots of options that can be installed in that space if you don't choose the traditional wood burning option. Now, again, not every homeowner has this option, and some have never had a chimney in their house like me. I currently do not have a fireplace or a chimney in my house, so therefore I would not be able to have a traditional fireplace. Now, there are people that have had a chimney in their house, but maybe it's in poor condition. Well, for those people or people that have never had a chimney in your house, this is where you enter the chimney-free fireplace. You can pretty much place it anywhere because there's no flue required like with the traditional fireplace. So, what we're going to talk about today are 4 chimney-free fireplace options. And we're going to start right off the bat with one that most people are familiar with, and that is the ventless gas. Ventless gas fireplaces have been used for several years now, and unlike some gas units, the ventless units don't require a vent. I'm sure most of you figured that out by the name, ventless. You know, they name it for people like me. This can be installed on an inside wall instead of an exterior wall that requires a chimney. It can also be installed between rooms, or maybe there's a kind of a tricky spot that you want to install for heating option. You would have that option with the ventless gas because you don't need a vent. However, it is still recommended that you install it in larger rooms, and ventless units can be used when the power is out as well. So this makes it a great emergency backup heat source if you don't have electricity. Which takes us right into number 2, electric fireplaces. If you love the look of a fireplace, don't want to deal with the cleaning or maintenance that comes along with it, look into an electric fireplace. It's a great option. Keep in mind, this is not your grandma's electric fireplace. Many of the units now actually have LED based simulated fire, as well as blowers that are capable of putting out lots of heat. I remember my grandma's electric heater. It wasn't a space heater, it was more kind of like a blower, and you would have to be like right up on that thing to feel any type of air whatsoever. The heating mode on these are similar to that of large space heaters, and like electric space heaters, there's almost no care that needs to go into these to keep them running year after year. With some of the LED options out there, they actually allow you can turn them on without the heating element, which means that LED display will have a cool to touch flame on it year round. So you'll have the flame just without the heat. So if you want just like a mood or just the look, you can have that with these options. Number 3 is one that I was not as familiar with and learned a little bit about. And number 3 on the list is an ethanol fireplace. So maybe you're looking for real fire without having to run gas lines. Ethanol could be that option for you. Rather than piping gas or tying into some type of electricity, ethanol fireplaces produce a real flame. These are actually bottled up alcohol-based fuel. You simply just pour into the burner and light that thing. There's a huge range of designs and sizes for the ethanol fireplaces, and these are suitable for many indoor applications. You will get some heat from this. Just keep in mind it's not going to be as substantial heat as you would get from the ventless gas or the electric. These are similar. Some people may remember gel fireplaces from years ago. So gel fireplaces have kind of been losing some traction over the years since ethanol has become more and more popular. And unlike gel fireplaces, these use a liquid fuel instead of the gel. And finally, number 4 is water vapor. This one was new to me as well. So before you shut this down, just hear me out. So if you want the look of fire without having to deal with, actual fire, water vapor gives you a very realistic experience without any type of limitation. These can be incredibly large and long fireplaces. So a lot of these are what you're going to see in restaurants. These are more for decor because these don't produce any heat. And what happens is that water vapor is used to reflect off lights that are in the unit, and these create an illusion of a flame. All you need is some electricity and some tap water, and you can set your own mood. So those are the 4 chimney-free fireplace options. Again, number one is the most popular one with ventless gas because it doesn't require a chimney. You could put it on an inside wall or in a particular part of the house or a room that you want and can heat the house. Number two was electric. These are very similar, just run on electric versus gas, and these take very little cleaning or maintaining to keep trucking along year after year. Again, these are like giant space heaters. Number three was ethanol. These are the look and feel of real fire without gas lines or electrical. It's an alcohol-based fuel, so it's liquid-based. You're not going to get some substantial heat from it, but you will get some heat. And finally, number four was water vapor. If you want the look of fire without actual fire, these are more for decoration and just appeal. It takes water vapor and electricity, and it will reflect off some lights in the system itself and create the illusion of a flame. So that's it. That is going to wrap it up for this episode of the Hot List. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with me. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you tomorrow for your weekly market update. Take care.